When you read the account of Solomon's temple in the book of 1 Kings and the book of 2 Chronicles, you can't help noticing how magnificent this whole structure is. The inside of the temple is plated with gold. The problem is, when you look at the archaeological evidence, it doesn't seem to match up to that description. There is no evidence really for the temple, because Solomon's temple was destroyed by Nebuchadnezzar in 586 BC. So some people have argued that this is just fiction on behalf of a later writer, that it has no resemblance to historical reality. Gold is a very precious metal and highly sought after in ancient times as in the modern world. So it's rare to find gold. We do, however, have evidence of gold being affixed to Egyptian temples. One of them is the Temple of Amun at Karnak, where there are small grooves in the walls to which would have been affixed gold plates. And it's quite likely that a similar practice would have taken place with Solomon's temple in Jerusalem. We've already talked a bit about the gold. What about the bronze? In the book of 1 Kings, we have a detailed description of a number of artifacts made of bronze that were used in the worship of the Lord in the temple in Jerusalem. 2 are worthy of further comment. There's a large hemispherical tank that the writer calls the sea. And we have 2 similar examples, not made of bronze this time, but of stone, both from Cyprus. They seem to have had a cultic use. People would have gone into the temple and needed to be pure, ritually pure. So they washed themselves in these large stone vessels. One is still in situ at Amathus in Cyprus. The other has been transported to the Louvre Museum in Paris. Also from Cyprus, we have at least 3 examples of bronze stands with wheels on them. These have elaborate designs and are almost certainly similar to those described in the book of 1 Kings. Those in 1 Kings are much bigger than the ones found in Cyprus. The ones in Cyprus were votive offerings to local gods. They didn't have any practical purpose. The ones in the Book of Kings, of course, had to transport water, and they were of considerable size, some 2 meters or so, and could hold about 800 liters of water. We know that in the 5th year of Solomon's son Rehoboam, Judah was invaded by a pharaoh that the Old Testament calls Shashank. His contemporary in Egypt is a pharaoh called Shashank, and most people will put the 2 together and claim that they are the same person. Shashank is known to have invaded what is now Israel. He recorded his exploits on the walls of the Temple of Amun at Karnak in Egypt. And he also left a stele or inscribed stone that is now broken at Megiddo in what is now modern Israel. We've mentioned already Shashank and his invasion of Israel. And it may be of significance that his son Osorkon is the pharaoh that gives the most amount of gold in donation to Egyptian temples. Records show that Pharaoh Osorkon, son of Pharaoh Shashank, gave no less than 383 tons of gold. And it may be that the gold that he was giving, at least in part, is what he plundered from the temple of the Lord in Jerusalem.